Man, The Nun was... Hey, what's up guys? Sorry for that jump scare, but if you did get scared, then you'll probably enjoy this movie because jump scares is pretty much all that this film has to offer. The Nun, as you know, is a prequel to the Conjuring universe and is set in the 1950s, which kind of caught me off guard. When I saw the trailer, I thought it would be in a lot older time period, but it's in the 1950s and it tells the origins of Alec, the nun that was featured in The Conjuring 2. One of the reasons why I really liked The Conjuring 2 was because of Alec. I thought he was a scary motherfucker, and I was like, cool, like, they're gonna make a whole movie about him? I'm down, count me in. I was excited. But as I sat down in theater and began watching the film, my excitement began to dwindle. And there's two main reasons why. And the first reason for this was because I just didn't care about the characters or the storyline as much. I did in the first 10 minutes, but after a while, I kind of got bored of these characters, and the main protagonist is just a bland priest, and the other protagonist is just a bland, soon-to-be priestess. And we follow them and this side character named Frenchie, who was actually kind of funny. I enjoyed some of him. So we follow these three characters, and that will be fine, but they just make dumb decisions. And that's another reason why I don't like these characters, is because they don't do things that I would do in a horror film or that you would do in a horror film. I love it when horror films write the characters to be smart and do what they should do, or do what you and I would do in the situation. And it's really satisfying when the villain or the monster is able to still get to them, even though they're doing everything right. I think that's great storytelling. I think that's great writing. And unfortunately, this movie doesn't feature that. And that's one of the problems with this movie, because when you have three main characters who are being taunted and scared by a demon who doesn't kill them or do anything to them when they have the chance, it just kind of becomes predictable and safe. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves with horror films. I don't think any character should ever feel safe. A lot of good horror films dare to be different and kill off people that you never thought they would kill off. Like, those are the most memorable horror films, and I wish that this film kind of went down that route and had the balls to do that. But overall, the actors try their best, but the characters are just bland and they're not unique, and there's really no reason to care about them or remember them. Reason number two why I felt like this movie was mediocre was because it was not memorable. One of the biggest qualities that I look at when I rate a movie is how memorable was it. And this film doesn't even try to be memorable. It literally does things that's already done in other horror films, and the jump scares are very predictable. There was only like 2 jump scares where I actually kind of like, but for the most part, it's just because it's a jump scare and it's shocking your sensations, and that's it. There was never a scene where I had to look away. There was never a scene where I was just truly terrified. There are some cool scenes, with the nun just in the center, like creeping in. I like that shit. And the problem with the nun, and the reason why I wasn't as scared as I was in The Conjuring, was because in Conjuring 2, you don't just expect to see a nun, a scary demon nun, in a house. Like, the nun just came out of nowhere in the painting scene. Like, that was awesome. But in this movie, you're in a church full of nuns. Like, all of the characters are nuns, almost all of them. And so you just see nun after nun, and you don't really get scared of the scary nun. And after a while, they show Valak or the nun off so much that you're numb to him. You're just like, okay, like, here's Valak, here he comes, he's gonna do something, he's gonna scream, and then the person's just gonna go flying, flying, like, there's only so many times that I can see a villain or demon do that. Like, it just became redundant. And the ending, there was nothing to it, really. Like, they try to connect to the Conjuring universe, and they do, it connects, but it's just like, it's not really a big deal. And I just remember the theater, at the end, just everybody was just like, that's it. So that's kind of the biggest problem with this film. It was just weak and forgettable. That's the biggest reason why I give this movie a 5 out of 10. It's very mediocre, and I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if you like jump scares, then yeah, you could watch it. But if you don't care for just jump scares and you want like a good story, then I would suggest another movie, maybe like A Quiet Place, which is not so much of a horror film, more of a suspense thriller, I think. There are some horror elements into it though. I wish I had more to say about this film, but there wasn't a whole lot going on in it. And I think if they spent more time on the origins of Alec and the storyline, this film would have been a lot better. But instead, they just chose to go with jump scares. But you let me know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you recommend it? Do you not recommend it? Please let me know in the comments below. Smash that like button and please subscribe. And I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Alec Garza, and I'll see y'all next week. Take care.